Olson here. I am the creator of CEO Optimized, and I'm so excited that you're listening or watching to my very first episode of this brand new podcast. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I started this podcast, what's in store for you, and why you want to be a part of it. So, first off, I actually have another brand called The Gold Digger Girl. We've been able to build that podcast to top 1% globally with almost 1 million downloads. So, why the heck would I start another podcast? Well, I actually found that serving female entrepreneurs really allowed me to see that without their health, without being able to tap into biblical wisdom, to be able to really have wealth in all areas of their life, I noticed a gap. They didn't have the energy. They were facing health implications, battling different illnesses, inflammation, just hormones not being where they wanted to be, and they just didn't have the energy or the drive to keep working on their business. And what we know about entrepreneurship, it's not for the faint of heart. So whether you are an entrepreneur, you have a side hustle, you're a high achiever in the corporate space, and you want more, this is absolutely for you, because we are going to tap into what you can do today to live younger longer, to feel better, and to build wealth in all areas of your life. I actually grew up in the Detroit area on the standard American diet, also known as the SAD diet. Most everything I'd eaten was in a box, can, or package, because my mom was a single parent, and back in the 80s, the microwave, TV dinners, just, it was all the rage, right? And that's really what we found to be the place to go to, was the microwave, with little time. Not, people weren't sitting down and having full dinners anymore. Things were just changing very rapidly. So I played sports and things like that, so I didn't really have much of a weight issue. However, I did battle some eating disorders and different things in high school. Went off to college. I gained 40 pounds my freshman year. It was just this whole, pasta and different things. I wasn't as active. So after I was graduating college, at that point I was on 5 medications and started my first real big girl job, and I started bleeding internally. And I went to the doctor, and they said I had ulcers all inside my body from stress, and was about to give me another medication. I was 21 years old, and as I was walking out of the doctor's office with the prescription in my hand, I thought to myself, is this the road you want to go down? Is this how you want to live your life? And I decided in that moment, no. I was a smart girl. I have undergrads in business management and marketing, and I knew that if I just put my head down to learn some of these life skills, that I could change the trajectory of my life. And I thank God every day that I did that. It took me 6 months, but I lost all the weight. I joined a gym for the first time, started learning about moving my body, nutrition, started learning to cook just basic things, smoothies, oatmeal, salads, very, very minimal. But I started learning about real food. I started learning how to have a healthy relationship with my food that I hadn't had prior to that. And something just, a switch was flipped. I just was lit up when I would start talking to people, because they would say, you have so much energy, your skin is clear, like, you've changed, what is it? And I would just light up telling them what I learned. I would spend hours at the health food stores on Saturdays. So I decided that I was going to go back to school. I got my master's and then 2 PhDs in natural health and holistic nutrition. Make it my mission to teach others how easy it is to be healthy. I went on to do public speaking, and I've been on TV over 100 times all across North America, published books, and I have a blog, a YouTube channel, all the things. And I share that not to impress you, but to impress upon you. I really am passionate about this. And this isn't about restriction. It's not about it's not all or none. It's really learning little things that you can do to incorporate for yourself and your family. And at the end of the day, the time you put into this, it's going to pay you dividends. And I always say, you can pay the farmer now or the doctor later. I want you to think of it this way as well. So if you're someone who's sitting here going, I'm open, I'm knowledgeable, I want to learn, I want to feel better, I want to be a good example for my kids, or, as I age, I want to age gracefully and be able to live independently as long as possible, you are in the right place. So what we're going to cover on this podcast, and I do have an invitation for you. If you would like to grab my most popular resource for those that are stepping into the wellness space, like you're somebody who says, I want to live younger longer. I want to reverse the clock. I want to be able to have boundless energy and, my hormones naturally be balanced and a vigor for life and all the things. I want you to grab the Optimized Life. This is an interactive guide I created that covers all the areas: wellness, sleep, nutrition, hormones, stress, because stress is a huge problem when it comes to combating inflammation and eventually disease. And you can actually, when you download the wellness guide, there's an interactive bot I created, which will customize everything for you. Nutrition, recipes, workouts, you name it. It's just incredible. You're going to love it. So I'm going to put the link for that below. as a thank you for watching this and subscribing. So make sure you subscribe as well. Also, this podcast and anything I share is just for educational purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Of course, consult with your physician. With that being said, what are the topics that we're going to cover on this podcast? So, of course, we're going to talk about wellness. I'm going to share with you supplements that I love. I'm going to share with you things that you can do to incorporate more wellness in your life. How do you get more sleep? What do you do about this darn thing that we're obsessed with, which is absolutely messing with our nervous system? It's disrupting our sleep cycles. It's not awesome. So how do you actually combat that, right? We can talk about things when it comes to stress management, keeping your energy high, moving your body, all the things, biohacking, of course, the latest supplements, the things that I'm loving as well. Sometimes I'm going to share something with you that I'm an affiliate for. So if you're watching this and you're just like, gosh, I would love to share stuff like this, I can talk to you more about that and help you do just that. We're going to talk about wealth. I am a huge advocate of wealth. And the reason why is because when we have wealth, it creates options. It allows us to pay for supplements. It allows us to be able to go down the natural route and really do things now that can keep us out of hospitals and treatments and things like that later on, but also to be able to give generously, be able to help other people out, take care of our families. So wealth to me is very important. I grew up with nothing and was able to build the brand that I have and the resources that I have. And I thank God every day for the blessings, but it was a lot of work. And I want to share with you how I was able to do that. So if you're somebody who wants to create wealth and you like the idea of learning how to monetize a personal brand in the wellness space, in the longevity space, in the beauty space, in the anti-aging space, I'm going to be sharing things around that here on this podcast that can help you do just that. Also, for most people who are online, a lot of you that are listening to this or watching are probably people who follow me on the Gold Digger Girl as well. I want you to know, if you currently are not monetizing wellness and beauty in your offer suite, why not? Because most likely you are passionate about your health journey or fitness or both or beauty, right? You can pick whatever that is and what that looks like for you. And finally, wisdom. My Bible's over here. I can't reach it right now, but we are going to talk about wisdom. God has already given us the blueprint. A book that has really helped me a ton that I absolutely love is called The Biblio Diet. Dr. Axe and Jordan Rubin are two people that I've followed for eons. They partnered up together. They actually have, I think it's Rubin actually has them, but they have regenerative farms. So that's where there are farming methods to regenerate the soil. So think of longevity, sustainability, the right way to farm. And they are taking what they're doing on these farms and putting them into supplemental products as well. But the Biblio Diet, they go over the Bible. What does the Bible tell us about food being medicine, the different things that we have at our fingertips? We've really gotten away from that as a society, and now it's our opportunity to get back to it. So I'm going to put the link for that below as well. I'll give you my wellness, the Optimized Life Wellness Guide, and then I'll also give you the link to that book. I would recommend that you read it or listen to it. I have it on Audible to get you started on that path. The wisdom is there, is my point. Everything's in the Bible. It's the instruction manual on how we are to live is in the Bible. So if that lights you up, you're excited about that, you know that the way that you're living or the way that you've been raised or the way society is living is not in alignment with how you know God wants you to show up, then that's for you. And also our body is a temple. And so I think sometimes we think, oh yeah, I'm going to start moving my body or start working on my weight or whatever it is that is your own health obstacle. It's not an option. It's an obligation. It's a duty. We've been given this body. We need to care for that body. So I feel really passionate about that. And I don't think it's optional. So if you're in alignment with that, I'm your girl. So with that being said, if you know anyone who is an entrepreneur, who has a side hustle, is a high achiever, is juggling a lot and they want to feel better, they want more wealth, wisdom, and wellness in their life, please share this. I would just love if you did that. That would mean so much to me. So thank you so much for being here. And I can't wait to have you dive into our next episode, which will be our very first interview. Thank you so much for listening or watching. We'll see you next time.